What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, CamATL, and welcome back to another MLB High Five video with your boy. It was once again a fantastic day yesterday. Cashed in on MLB, cashed in on NBA. It was another great one, man. We've been on a hot streak, and I'm just gonna credit it towards being back on YouTube. Why not? I mean, we were hot before, and we were doing well when I was off YouTube. But I mean, ever since I've been back on, we've been like unstoppable. So I'm gonna credit it towards y'all. Y'all are the reason. So I appreciate you guys for joining me as always. Drop a like down below, comment anything in the comment section to enter your name into the $100 giveaway that I'm doing this week for my comeback to YouTube. So make sure you comment anything in the comment section and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As you guys know, I like to get in and out, short and sweet, give you guys the core that I'm loving, and then dip on out. By the way, before I start, there's a lot of weather issues throughout the entire day, which is why the video's late right now, because I was working on early slate and had to really break down weather and stuff on that one. It's a big time weather day, so I'm not a certified weatherman. I'll spend a lot of time after this video, studying the main slate weather and seeing where I'm willing to take the risk and where I'm not and all that stuff. But so when I'm doing this high five, I'm not keeping weather too much into consideration. I took a look at the pitchers at least that I'm liking and made sure that they'll at least should be good to go before I put them in the high five. But all right, let's go ahead and get straight into it. Greenlightdfs.com to join the squad for DFS. As you know, if you haven't joined us before, do it. All right. Greenlightbets.com if you're in a state that can bet on games. We had another winning night last night. We've been crushing game bets, so that has been great as well. Greenlightbets.com to join on that. And then GLD Breaks. We have an NBA certified 2020-21 NBA certified NBA certified hobby box break coming up. You can join that and get a spot on that. There's only 6 spots. It'll be a random division break. If you don't know what a break is, I'm sure I have a video posted a couple days ago where we broke a NBA hoops box. Go check that out, see what it's like. It's a lot of fun. You have the opportunity to get somebody got 2 Wiseman jersey auto. Like one was a James Wiseman auto jersey, and the other one was a James Wiseman auto. It was big. So it's fun to do, especially if you love sports cards, and they're a good investment as well. Especially the rookies that you think are going to end up being good, and the big time players, obviously like Trae Young, Doncic, LaMelo Ball, who's got a bright future. So it's fun. Anyway, let's get straight into this right now. All right, starting off, first pitcher, I got to go Jacob Degrom. All right, I mean, plain and simple, I have pretty much a rule in my mind. Whenever Jacob Degrom is pitching on a slate, I just go ahead and figure out how I can get him in, and then I move on from there. He's a fantastic spot. He's going against Atlanta, which I don't love that. And Atlanta's a hitter-ish friendly ballpark. I mean, obviously, I'm an Atlanta fan. We have a solid offense, but this is Jacob Degrom. I don't overthink it when Degrom pitches. He's an absolute beast. I mean, the dude's a monster. His ever since they couldn't use little sticky substances, his K rate has dropped. Don't get me wrong, it has dropped, but the Vegas implied total is extremely low. He's still Jacob Degrom. I expect him to get it going, and it's going to be a good outing here. And he's one of the pitchers who should be in a solid weather spot as well. All right, then Corbin Burnes. Corbin Burnes and Jacob Degrom are my 2 pitchers that I really, really like on this slate. I mean, Corbin Burnes got the good, solid K rate, 29% to lefties, 37% to righties. Absolutely crazy K rate. Vegas has Pittsburgh at a 3.4 implied total, which is just slightly higher than Atlanta. Both of these guys are in fantastic spots, and both should easily get, give you what you need in this situation. I mean, DeGrom's got over 30% K rate to lefties and righties, so both of these guys have the highest upside on the entire slate, and it's a big gap down from those two. That's why I love them so much. And then I'll just find where I can save and still get exposure to the biggest game of the night, and you know that. First hitter I want to talk about, Tyler O'Neill. Tyler O'Neill is only 4K. I mean, there's some big discrepancies in pricing here that I definitely want to take advantage of, especially on the St. Louis side. Outside of Nolan Arenado, who's 5'5", you've got a lot of guys who are too cheap, okay? And I'm going to talk about a couple of them, and I have to put them in the high five due to their price. Normally, I don't like to stuff guys in cores, but at the end of the day, their prices are too low, and I have to make sure I push them and make sure that you guys play them. Tyler O'Neill's in a fantastic position here. The dude's a beast, all right? He's got a good history against Sensatella, number 1. Number 2, he's got a 240 ISO versus righties. It's fantastic. Colorado's bullpen's bad. Get your exposure to St. Louis, especially with how their prices are today. All right, next up, Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt is only 4.5. Two very solid hitters at under 5K. Normally, when a game's in cores, most of their big time hitters are going to be over 5K. Pretty solid over 5K. Not the case here. All right, some St. Louis guys who are way too cheap. Another guy who's way too cheap is Paul DeJong, but I'm not going to put 3 St. Louis in the high five. Now, for the last spot, it's a toss-up. It's pretty tough on me, but I have a good feeling about A.J. Pollock tonight. He's got solid power versus lefties, over 204 ISO. As long as this game plays, this is one of the games you want to keep an eye on. But I expect it to play. I expect all the games to play. I don't think we're going to get any postponements. It's just you definitely want to keep an eye on him for pitching, concerns. But A.J. Pollock's only 3K. Vegas has Dodgers implied total over 5. It's a solid spot here, man. Pollock has hit lefties throughout his career very well. I mean, and we know the type of upside he has at only 3K. I mean, he could always get you a double donk. So I like A.J. Pollock. Another guy that you could put there as well is Kyle Tucker, who I really like. I really like Houston as well, especially the lefties against Mejia, who struggles versus left-handed pitching. So I definitely like that. All right, left-handed bats. So I definitely like Kyle Tucker as well. But that's it. Jacob Degrom, Corbin Burns, the incredibly cheap Paul Goldschmidt and O'Neill in cores, and A.J. Pollock is the core on DK. Let's go over here to FanDuel. Let me go ahead and clear this out from yesterday. Boom. All right, here we go. For FanDuel, going to pitching, you guys know how I normally do it over here. I like to just pick my favorite pitcher. This is a tough one between Degrom and Burns. You can go either one of these guys. Okay, it all comes down to if you need money or not. I'm going to go ahead and go to Degrom because he's my overall favorite pitcher of the day. But if you need money, it's almost $1,000 to Corbin Burns. If you need that 1,000, that's perfectly fine. I completely understand it. Let's look at our guys. Let's look. Paul Goldschmidt's 4.1, which seems pretty cheap. Let's check Tyler O'Neill. Tyler O'Neill's 3.8. How much is DeJong? 3.5. Arenado is 4.2. Arenado is way cheaper over here than he is on DK, so you're definitely getting a value on Arenado over here. So I definitely want to put him in. I have a big feeling about Tyler O'Neill today, so I'm going to go ahead and put him in as well. There's a couple St. Louis guys, and then let's check on A.J. Pollock is 2.4. There you go. Plain and simple. Degrom as the pitcher, like I said, it's perfectly fine to go Burns and save almost 1,000 if you need the 1,000. Nolan Arenado is way cheaper over here than DK, so he's a value over here big time. Tyler O'Neill and A.J. Pollock are fantastic options. Tyler O'Neill could also be Goldschmidt. It doesn't matter. A.J. Pollock is way too cheap at 2.4 against a lefty. A not so good anymore lefty. Let's check just value in general that the optimizer likes a lot. Dickerson, Bradley, Will Myers, Mitch Moreland, Josh Donaldson. Got some okay value, not great, but okay value and should be okay. Let me see. 3.5. All right, that's it. Thank you guys for joining me as always. Degrom, Arenado, O'Neill, Pollock on FanDuel. Over on DK, we have Degrom, Burns, Goldschmidt, O'Neill, and Pollock. Thank you guys for joining me as always, man. I hope you smash. Let's get this money, and I'm out. Peace.